You are never gonna believe it. I got invited to be on one of my favorite business podcasts today, and we're supposed to record in the next 30 minutes. And of course, there's someone mowing the lawn outside, so hopefully they're done before I have to record. Oh, but I made myself a matcha because I stayed up way too late finishing The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. But welcome back to the studio. I feel like this is the first week that is going to be reflective of more of my normal schedule going into this next chapter and this next season of my business. And I'm so excited. I officially have 5 clients that I'll be working with for the next 3 months. And beanie season is really starting to kick off. I'm noticing an uptick in pattern sales. Applications for all the holiday markets I want to do are coming out this week, so it really feels like this shift. And I know there's still a month left of summer, but all of the kids in our school district go back to school, and so I feel like even the energy of town changes a lot. And I live in a mountain town where a lot of our business comes from tourism, so seeing the changes in even the amount of tourism coming to town makes it feel really different. Peach season! That was so much fun. It's been so cool being part of her Business Witch program. I think there's so much that we can learn and figure out and bootstrap on our own, and I've done that for years and years and years. And I think I mentioned this at the beginning of this year, but I feel like I'm back in this stage of wanting to be a student again, wanting to learn. I want more support and skills and to level up in some way. I think there's so much power in having one-on-one support for sure, but even group support, and sometimes that can be even more powerful because you're in this container of people who are wanting to grow, wanting to learn, wanting to better themselves, and there's a lot of power in that and community. And so it's been really fun being part of the program, and I can't believe she invited me to be part of her podcast. It was awesome talking to her. I'll definitely share when the podcast comes out. I don't know when it comes out, but I feel like it's just kicking off this chapter in my business, and it feels really good. Good morning! It is here, the new Upcountry palette. I am so excited. I have a few new to me colors, some tried and true colors, but I like creating it as like a palette collection. So even if I have used some of the colors in the past, like they haven't been paired with this palette of colors. So I'm excited for this one. Look at this beautiful like bluish gray. I love this one, mauve. I haven't had it in the collection for a few years. This probably my favorite color. Oh, clearly I wear this so much. Upcountry is one of the local stores that I sell at, and a little more elevated. It's really cute in there. I'll bring you in there at some point. I still need to order the palettes for the other store that I sell at, but I do have a local client that I have to meet with downtown, and then I'm taking a workshop, and then we'll come back and put this away in the afternoon. Upcountry's so cute. I'm so excited for this new line and this palette. There was a bee outside, so I had to take it in, but catching up on some carry cakes vlogs, I feel like I haven't had a lot of time to just sit and chill and knit and catch up on vlogs in so long, but I guess that is summer anyway. Like, we just want to be outside and do things and so much social stuff. But it does feel like there's a shift happening. And even on my Chatty app this morning, she was talking about how things that I planted seeds for and started putting in motion in March are kind of culminating now with the Virgo new moon happening soon, and then preparing my systems for September, which is kind of crazy because the seeds that I was planting in March were basically creative camp, which just happened, going into this mentorship and coaching side of the business. I made a bunch of videos back in March about the anti-hustle and how to build a business that's more aligned with your values and shared experiences, and even just a little bit about my conflict with like being a product-based business and not wanting the products to go away because that's such a core of my brand. I love making and creating, but how I wanted to explore more experiences and things like that. Anyway, so many things. And I want to try to get to body pump later too. This is not the new chapter, new leaf video that I thought I was going to be sharing because there's going to be a lot of changes coming up, but things are starting to happen. What a day. I'm writing my newsletter right now and kind of talking about and thinking about the transition period between this like late summer and fall, and it kind of feels a little sticky because for me it's like it's definitely still summer, but it almost does feel like everyone's shifting a little bit. And I love fall. It's probably my favorite season. I mean, toss up between winter and fall. But I also have been trying to be really present. And I think we always like over anticipate what's next sometimes, or it just bogs us down and prevents us from being present. But I also, like, in what's going on in my life, like, I do have to kind of gently prepare for bigger changes that are going to be happening and set up systems and how I do things so that I'm ready. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's a little bit conflicting. I feel a little bit hypocritical, but I think that's why this transition season feels really sticky, is because it is a little bit of both. But my brain is starting to not function well, but I have a really good draft. I'm gonna go to my lifting class and move my body a little bit and then come back to this.
I just wanna go out and walk with you. Baby, you know I just like to talk with you. You don't have to tell me anything that's new. I just wanna go out and walk with you. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine, sailing over pavement with our two elbows. I like to see the shape you're in from time to time. I just wanna see your shadow
did it. I applied to this market that I've been eyeballing for years and have just felt like I didn't have like my booth set up or systems or anything. But after the market I did last December down in Denver, I talked to some of my booth neighbors and they're like, you have to apply to this market next year. So I just applied for it. It's a juried market, and it's a 2-day market in Boulder, which is about 3 hours from where I live. So I don't know. I'm excited. Hopefully I get in. Wish me luck. But okay, happy Wednesday. Something just came in the mail, so let's unbox it. But it is from my good friend, Documented Journey. And she creates these beautiful journal covers, and she's an illustrator and has a YouTube channel about her sketchbooks and drawing and watercolor and everything like that. But I wanted to start art journaling, so I want to bring this with me when I go on my trip. Like I told her, just surprise me. So I'm excited to see what came out. Thank you, Bree. Love a little washi tape, you know? Look! Isn't that beautiful? I'm so excited. Look at this beautiful cover. And then there's a pocket here for pens and just little, I don't know, papers and stuff like that. So I'm envisioning like, you know, museum ticket stubs or whatever that I can put in here and save. And then she sent me this really beautiful sticker. She draws all of her stickers. And this is almost like a cloth sticker. Very cool. It must be one of her paintings. It's beautiful, and what a good size. This is something that I'm going to keep with me. I'm going to bring like a small backpack on the trip too, so I can have it with me. Oh my god, she sent so many little extras. Wow. I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Brie. And look, even the inside has a little bit of design on it. How cool. I don't know why, but this officially makes me feel like an artist. I even ordered a travel size watercolor set, and then I have all of those art pens from Creative Camp that I'm going to bring with me. But I think I want to use it as equal parts like a journal and then like sketchbook / practicing my creativity outside of knitting, and I don't know, experiment and just be creative in a different way that's uncomfortable, that makes me feel like a beginner, that where I feel like I'm not good at it, you know what I mean? I think that's really important for all of us, especially as creatives, especially if you have a business with your creative work. And there are so many people that I have encountered that are just talented in all of the different arts, and I'm like, I don't feel like I'm one of them. I love knitting, I love designing knitwear, I love making videos and doing all of that, but the actual like drawing art, I am not good at. So anyway, I'm very excited. Thank you, Brie. This is so cool. Definitely go check her out. Her business and her YouTube channel is called Documented Journey. She also has a Patreon. I'll put her info in the link below too. I'm so excited. So I've been working with Stio for the last maybe 3 or 4 years as an affiliate, and I truly love their stuff. I love the ethos behind the business, and they now have a local branch of the store. And I had seen my friend, the Wild Pine in Maine, do like a pop-up shop at her local Stio. She's also an affiliate. So I went into ours today and asked if they'd be interested in doing one with me this holiday season, and they said yes. Yes. Okay, had to take a knitting break and finish watching that episode with Taylor Swift, but now I have to edit. Just a speck. I'm starting to organize the footage for Creative Camp, and I wanted to look back on my Iceland video. And I feel like I've actually grown a lot as a vlogger, and my style has evolved with how I create these videos. But watching back the Iceland video, it kind of makes me emotional again. You can't really compare it to Creative Camp, but the magic of that experience with these other women is so special. I'm still smiling from Creative Camp and what we did on the river, and it's so cool looking back at this video that I made in January and what I was talking about, and how even in the reflection part of the video, talking about what that trip meant for me and my journey, and then seeing in the last 8 months where I am now with my business, growing this mentorship side, planning the next trips, working with clients, and reminding myself even like why I'm doing this in the first place, why I'm putting these retreats together, how important it is for us to have these spaces. We need community more than ever, and how there's just so much going on in the world, and it's been so chaotic, and I don't want to forget that that's happening, but at the same time, it's like a reminder of why we need shared experiences, why we need community, connecting with each other, learning and growing. We only have so much time, and so what are we choosing to do with that time? But yeah, now I'm just swirling with all these other thoughts and trying to figure out how I want to put together the Creative Camp video. Hello, good afternoon. I totally forgot to film this morning, but it's lunchtime, and I was like, oh, I need to update you. I spent a couple hours working on my rewilding workbook. I know a lot of you have been asking me about it, and I've been talking about it for months, so I've been chipping away at it and working on it. I'm so excited about it. I feel like it's going to be such an amazing resource and tool for everyone, especially if you're in a season of transition, if you're starting a business, if you feel like you're in this place in business where you want to just realign a little bit. It's something that I use every year, if not twice a year. But I have another coaching client this afternoon, and in this video I was planning to talk about like my new routines and setting myself up for the next season, but it kind of made me feel a little bit conflicted because I think we anticipate so much, we worry so much about the next season that we forget to stay in the present. But then if we don't plan ahead, or at least gently allow ourselves to percolate and think about what's going on next, we can't set ourselves up for success. So it's a little bit of both. But it also made me think a lot about just how we do naturally have these transition periods. And like, even though it's still really hot out right now, the mornings are cooler and there's like an energy shift, and even just the feeling around town, the feeling I have looking forward to fall and what that season brings. Because for me, my business really does run pretty seasonally, in the sense of like every season has a different priority and focus. I know I'm gonna have to let something go, and that's kind of what fall teaches us too. It's a reminder from nature that we need to let some things go for the next season to happen, like the leaves, you know? So I've been thinking about my content cadence. It's funny because I had a coaching session with my business coach, and she was talking about how I basically have 3 businesses right now. Even letting go of the chef business, I kind of have 3 businesses. One being the knitting business, one being the coaching and mentorship, and then another being content. And when she said that, I was like, no, it's not. And she was like, yes, it is its own thing too. But it all makes sense under the umbrella of Smini. But I think having the mindset shift around running these 3 branches of business, it's really making me think about and kind of listening to my own stuff. Like what I was working on in the rewilding workbook today was the seasons of change, and how different aspects of our life and business are in different metaphorical seasons, and what energy and capacity do we actually have right now to honor that. And so I think where I need to actually take a step back is content. And because I love YouTube, I don't want to take a step back from YouTube. What I will need to take a step back on is Instagram, which I've been wanting to do anyway. So maybe this is like the kick in the pants I need to figure out exactly how. I don't want to ghost Instagram, but I think what I'm going to do is in the next few posts I make, it might be sharing more about Creative Cam because I haven't shared that much about it yet. And also a few posts that are like, it's not goodbye, it's see you later, find me over here, and kind of why I'm doing that, and hopefully just get more people to come over to YouTube and onto my email list. But anyway, taking a break, having some lunch before I meet with my client, and then we will keep going. I love it when that happens. I casted on exactly the number I needed to cast on without counting. I don't even know what I'm feeling right now, but I feel like after a lot of computer time, which I feel like I've been doing a lot of lately, I just want to sit and knit or go outside. But right now, outside is very hot. I'm waiting for it to cool down before I take Aria out. But really, I think this time of year it is a lot of computer time because I'm kind of getting all the nitty-gritty things done, haha, pun not intended, before the busy knitting season kicks in. But I think we always just feel this sticky, kind of uncomfortable in-between during these transition periods. And I talked about it in the spring too, but you know, with metamorphosis, like think of a butterfly going through metamorphosis. There is this part where you're kind of in this goop or you're kind of whatever, doing this thing. And then all of a sudden you get to this point where you have to bust out of that chrysalis. And I feel like moving into fall is busting out of that chrysalis after having all of this time in spring and summer to kind of percolate and let things start to grow and develop and just become what they need to be. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's kind of what this new branch of my business has felt like, where I've been planting seeds, I've been laying down my foundations and nurturing my roots, and things are actually starting to grow now. So it's kind of like, okay, it's happening. And I think I even mentioned this in a previous vlog where readiness isn't a feeling, it's a decision. And so when you make the commitment to yourself to do something or make a change or a shift or something, that kind of unlocks this like new path for you to go down, and it'll start unfolding as you go. And so don't let perfection get in the way of good. Don't let having everything perfect prevent you from even starting to take that first step. You know what I mean? And I'm curious if you've been feeling this way too, because I know there's a lot of uncertainty going on in the world right now. There's a lot of chaos, there's a lot of heaviness, and I don't want to discount that at all. And it is a reality, and it's something that we have to manage alongside living our life and running our businesses. Happy Friday. Happy new moon. As I was writing out my journal prompts for the new moon, I was like, oh my god, this is why it feels like this weird in between sticky transition period. It's the new moon in Virgo, and I do love to dabble in astrology stuff. In Native American lore, they also call this the sturgeon new moon, and basically it symbolizes this transition towards the harvest period. And it's also a time when you start to reorganize and reflect and figure out what you need to refine in your life going into the harvest season. And it makes so much sense why it felt so chaotic and sticky. I was like, it's already Friday. What happened this week, you know? And I think it's just that energy shift. We can feel it, and every season is different, and it is a cycle. And I love figuring out how to live more seasonally and how to align my business with the seasonal rhythms. And it just makes so much sense to me to do it that way because things are always changing. We're always evolving. Our businesses are always changing and evolving. We have to adapt to the different seasons. And especially this year, like things have just been really chaotic. But if we give ourselves the time to reflect regularly and to analyze what's going on in the business, to analyze our own energy and capacities, it really helps us build something more intentional. You know what I mean? So anyway, I know this was a super chatty vlog, so thank you for coming along. I'm so excited for what's to come. I leave next week for a 2-week trip that I'm excited to bring you along for. And when we get back, it's going to be full on beanie season. I'm going to be starting my certification program, and things are going to be different. But thank you for coming along on the journey as always. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next video.